Welcome to Explore English Churches, and today we are at All Saints Church in the small village of Kempston, which sits actually on the edge of, well, it's in Bedfordshire and it sits on the edge of actually Bedford itself. Now Kempston was obviously a very small village back in the day, and we've come to explore this church. Now there would have been, as always, an original Saxon church on this site, and the first alterations to that Saxon church would have taken place by the Normans, and it's understood that Judith, who was granted the manor and the lands of Kempston by her uncle William the First, after the post-conquest days, in other words after the Norman conquest. There's a little note on this door that says that this door is very heavy, and they truly are not joking. Well, here we go. As I say, it's not a very large church, but it is a rather interesting church. Let me show you this door. It is absolutely glorious. Fabulous. And I don't know what the weight of that door is, but it is exceedingly heavy. So let's take a wander in here. They do have a superb 14th century font in here, which I will show you. It has some wonderful carvings on it, and also there's a rather interesting story of the font itself. You can see that the top of the rood screen, which would have been in place, is still there, which is most unusual to see that on its own. Also, what I wanted to show you, the church, in the tower of the church, and let me sort of pan backwards above the organ, does actually have a ring of 10 bells, the largest of which I understand actually weighs somewhere in the region of about 1700 weight, which I believe is almost a ton in weight. So we'll have a little look around. What I have noticed, and I will come back to the font in a moment, let's take a little wander down this wonderful church. It's simple, but it's simple because much of it is actually original, and this is actually what would have been possibly an original Saxon archway, but then obviously later on in years it was changed to a Norman archway, and when they extended the chancel, that is what I believe. But if you look at this wonderful brickwork and pattern, and I'm going to turn around and show you it from the other side as well. It may not come out as well on the video as it does, but I will try my best to show you this. And it's a wonderful pattern, as I say, and I do believe they call this a nail pattern for some reason. I don't know why. We do have the angel stops and various heads holding up what is actually a very high and wooden roof. We have a double piscina in the corner here. Very low, so whoops, it's my guess that maybe the floor here would have been raised, and it would have been obviously at some point, because we have another step and that, so I'm guessing that the piscina there was actually in actual fact a lot higher in its day. Now, the stained glass window here, I can't read the dedication, but it actually dates back to 1843 and 1840. In memory of, I'm trying to work it out, but it's very, very difficult. And I can't make it out. I can't make out the dedication on that. This is Joanna 1840, but it's rather pretty and it's beautiful colours, as you can see. Let's take a little look back down the church, because I'd like you to see all of it. We do have some poppy heads. Also, another interesting thing about the church, but I have yet to been able to find it. Apparently, there's a Crusader stone in here. And in 1848, when there's some work being carried out on the church, the workmen actually found in the porch a large stone slab, which was obviously a gravestone, and it's believed, and beneath it, yes, they did find actually the remnants of bones, and it's believed to be of Sir Charles Daubeny, who died in 1386. Now, I haven't been able to find the slab, unfortunately. We do have the little priest door there. It must have been a very short priest. And we have this gorgeous door here as well, which would take you through into, I believe, there's a mausoleum the other side, and also it's used as a vestry, I believe. Let's take a, whoops, careful Stevie, a little step up the pulpit, and I will give you a view of the church from here. As you can see, it isn't very large, but it is rather cute. I'll try and show you this stonework again. You can get a slightly closer view. We do have various memorials here on the wall. This is to Robert Orr Campbell, who died in 1892. There's nothing that I can tell you about the pulpit, but we do have some rather very, very nice chairs in here. This one in particular is very, very nice. I don't know, there doesn't appear to be any date on there, and there's no information that I can give you about it, but it is an absolutely glorious little chair. Look at that, that's fabulous. Let's take we do have a couple of more stained glass windows in the church here. This is quite a modern one, really. I say quite modern, it's over 100 years old, and it dates back to 1920, and is the memory of Willard Long Fitzpatrick. And we have some on the wall here as well. This one, I did actually like this one. And again, it's quite a modern one, for all intents and purposes, and dates back to 1938. And it's actually in memory of the vicar, I think. Let's read that. Sometimes these things are so difficult to read. I do apologise. Thanks for the life of Harry Barker of the vicarage. Ah, I see. So I presume Harry was a young lad that passed away. Well, yes, 1922 to 1938. So he was only a young lad of 16 years. We do have hatchments in here, or one hatchment, but we do have some other shields as well, which I'm going to go. Let's take a wander over and have a look at those, and I'll tell you whatever I can about them. These apparently, well, the one in the centre is obviously the royal coat of arms of the time. I don't know to which king or queen that actually refers to, but the other coat of arms, there are another couple of, I'm trying to pan this in so you can see a little bit better, another couple of royal coat of arms there, and the ones with the other shields actually with the bishop hats on actually refer to the bishops of that this church belonged to at the time, as I believe it's Canterbury, the Diocese of Canterbury, St Albans, and Lincoln and Ely, and they would be the bishop's shields. We do have this wonderful window up here. I'm coming back. There's no information on these at all. I can't make them out. Again, as I always say, they hang things so high in churches, which, truthfully, I don't see the point. If they are so high and you can't see them, then why have them up there in the first place? You know, you'd have to be about 9'10" tall in order to be able to view those properly. But yes, we do have this lovely window in here. And again, it's quite a modern one by all accounts. This one actually dates back to 1910. Let's take a wander over and have a look at this 14th century font, because as I say, it's got quite an interesting little story about it, which goes back to, again, Cromwell. Whoops, just stop. That's what I just found on this pillar. Oh wow, look at that. Now, I can't tell you anything about it, only other than my guess would be it could be a stonemason's mark, but I don't believe so. So yes, this font, and going back to the days of the sort of Cromwell, what they came and they destroyed. They took chisels and that, and they always destroyed anything that sort of related to sort of the Catholicism and the Catholic faith, and so they would attack any symbols or emblems. I'm trying to walk around and without falling over, you know what I'm like, and I'm trying to show you as much of this as possible. But yes, this little font here, and there would have been in here, and we've seen this before on other fonts where they've actually been destroyed. And the hood, yes, this beautiful cover that the font actually has dates back, and it's one of these ones with this massive lifting system. I always find that rather strange, but then again, that hood will actually weigh quite a bit, and it dates back to 1900. As I say, it's a rather pretty church. It is, you know, pretty for all intents and purposes, as I said earlier, it's pretty much original. It hasn't been messed around too much. Okay, a lot of the pews, the original medieval pews, have been taken out and replaced, but you can see just how sweet this place is, and it's such a joy to find it open today. The organ looks pretty modern, in memory of Michael Parrott. Apparently, he must have been the organist in, I can't read that, 1976. Yes, so it's quite modern. Let's see if I can take us underneath the tower. Now, I do have to be careful. We do have curtains and all sorts. Right, okay. Oh, people, I've got us underneath. We are underneath the tower, and to me, this is always one of the most interesting parts of a church. And unfortunately, because of it being so dark, it's not coming out very well on the camera, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that. But yes, and that's the back of the organ. So Stephen is trying to be very careful that he doesn't fall over. And there we go, as they say, what's behind the curtain? So I do hope you've enjoyed this tour of All Saints Church in the village of Kempston. Please like, subscribe, share the videos. It does help the channel grow, and I'm very, very appreciative for anybody that does. So again, please like, subscribe. I do hope you've enjoyed this, and you can always pop over to my website, which is thechurchexplorer.com. And there are also other videos and photographs and that on there. So that's thechurchexplorer.com. And you may just find yourself on one or two things that you may actually like to purchase. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and keep your eyes open for my next video. Take care now. Have a great day. Bye.